Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. So I'm finally going to start my Christmas pins, and here's what they look like. It says Merry Christmas, and then the back of it is blank, where you can always go ahead and add a name or anything you want to on the back of it. So what I'm using today are the Papermate Ink Joy pens. And I normally try and use the color casing of the pen closely related to the color of glitter that I'm using. But today it won't make much of a difference because I'm using a dark color paint because I didn't have all of one color and I wanted them to be somewhat uniform. So what you have to do is just pretty much empty out all the inners um, and then take off that plastic tab. So I normally just use wire cutters and just cut off that plastic tab right there as close as I can to the base. Then I just take an X-Acto knife and I try and smooth it down or cut it down as low as I can where I took that tab off. And then on the other side is a little plastic dot that you want to go ahead and cut that off. I'll show you here in a minute. That's the little heart thingy on the other side. I cut that off. And then the little plastic dot is right there. I'm cutting it off now. Just makes it smoother and the glitter just goes on a little bit smoother. Now we just want to give the pen a light sanding, just pretty much to take off all the factory oils that were on the barrel and then smooth out those places where you cut the plastic off with your X-Acto knife. Now you just want to go ahead and add some tape. After you finish sanding, you want to wipe it down with alcohol firstly. I didn't record that part. And then you want to go ahead and add some tape to your pencil. I take a pencil, cut it in half, and I use it as a tool to like handle my pen and also to stick it in my spinner for drawing. Adding the tape makes it easy to pull out once you put your bright tone on. And then I put a little stopper in the top. I bought those from Amazon. I forgot the name of it, but it also prevents the bright tone from getting inside the barrel. we're going to use this Universal Black by Crystalac. It has both, um, it has a base coat inside this, and it's great coverage. 9 times out of 10, I only use one coat for this when I'm doing my pen. So I'm going to go ahead and paint my pen, and then this Universal Black has to dry for 4 hours. So it needs to be on a spinner too as well. All Crystalac products with using with Bright Tone, you have to spin them because it's self-leveling, and as you spin it, it self-levels. So and that's to spin for 4 hours. But I'm sorry, it has to dry for 4 hours, but you can just spin it for one, and then you can turn it off and just let it sit there for 4 hours. So I got them all painted now, and what I'm going to do now is get my glitter glue together and go ahead and put a coat on it. Today we're going to use Crystalac, what is it called? Glitter glue. And we're going to put a coating of that on there, and then we're going to add our glitter. What I'm about to do right now is what happens when you put too much glue on there. When you put too much glue, sometimes you run the risk of getting bumps in your glitter, and that just would cause you problems in the end because you'd have to sand more. So with this one, first I'm going to unclog my glitter glue here, and then at the end I'm going to clean up the glue, the extra glue that I had on the brush, and kind of dab it on the paper just to get rid of some of that extra glue. I use too much. So I realized when I was gluing the other pins that you see spinning there that it was off camera. So I'm doing it again. I'm showing you how I put the glitter on the pen. I normally use a teaspoon, but I was too lazy to go in the kitchen, so I just made it work. You just sprinkle it on and until you get it covered with the glitter. I don't advise rolling it in the glitter because, again, you could get those bumps in there, and that's just more sanding for you at the end of your project. And then you have to spin this. I'm sorry, it has to dry for 2 hours. You spin it for one, and it takes a total of 2 hours to dry before you can do your next coat. Crystal Lacquer products are self-leveling. After the first hour, you want to pull your pen off and grab a piece of paper, and then you want to roll your pen in the paper. That just helps the glue adhere to that glitter. Helps the glitter adhere to the glue, and and then you just put it back on the span for the additional hour. Because again, it takes the glue 2 hours to dry. Now I'm ready for my second coat of glitter glue. I decided that I needed, I'm sorry, my second coat of glitter. I decided that I needed 2 coats for full coverage. But the difference with the first coat and the second coat when I'm using my glitter glue is that I use a damp brush. It's just easier to apply the glitter glue with a damp brush because the glitter is still kind of loose, you know. But yeah, go ahead and it did dry for the 2 hours. Um, but you still got some flakes because it's not sealed. So I'm going to go ahead and paint this again with the damp brush with the glitter glue, and then I'm going to add more glitter. Now it's time to add our bright tone. We put 2 coats of, that's our bright tone right there. It's just a non-toxic coating, a great alternative to epoxy or even UV resin. I normally apply it with my finger. Takes a lot longer to dry, but I don't have to wear any PPE equipment whatsoever because it's non-toxic. There's no smell, and it dries clear and it dries hard. It takes 4 hours for this to dry. You just got to spin it for the 1 hour because, like I said, this is self-leveling. Most of the products are self-leveling. So you just spin it for an hour and then just let it sit there for the other 3 hours before you can put on another coat. So like I said, I just apply this with my finger. With the bright tone, you can rub it a while and that kind of activates it. They have other products that are newer that it doesn't like all that rubbing, but bright tone does. So I'm just going to apply it with my finger, just a thin coat, then let it dry. And I'll be back for the second coat after 4 hours. Spinning 1 hour, total drying time 4 hours. So my first coat is dry. It's been 4 hours. I'm gonna go ahead and put on coat number two. Now we're at 4 coats. So I did 2 other coats off camera, and now it's time to do a little sanding. So we're just gonna lightly sand it and just smooth it out a little bit. I normally just kind of go up and down it with my fingers after I'm sanding to see if it's smooth enough for my taste. But yeah, you just want to smooth it to get some of the rough edges off, and then you go ahead with your fifth coat of bright tone after that. And again, you gotta wait for 4 hours dry time, 1 hour spin time. Unlike the first sanding, on this sanding, once you're done with this, you just want to wipe your pen off with a microfiber cloth. No alcohol. We're done with alcohol. Crystal products, at least the bright tone, does not like alcohol. So yeah, after you're done sanding, just wipe it off with a microfiber cloth, and then do your next application of bright tone. So I've sanded it, and then I put on 2 more coats. And so now I'm ready for my vinyl. So now we have a total of 6 coats on this pen. See how shiny it is already? It's gonna get shinier. So I have a Cricut there, and I just go ahead and print off whatever label I need. And I just put it on by eye, especially when it's 1 or 2 words. I can pretty much just eye it and put it on. I just kind of pretty much just dab it up there so in case it's crooked, I can rip it back off. But this way works best for me. You can measure it if you like or use some type of guide. Once you adhere your vinyl, just make sure that you rub it down real good after you take off your transfer paper. You don't want any bubbles because those just won't look well. So rub it down real good and then you add your next layer of bright tone. And you guys, I want to pre-apologize for this video. I'm using a totally different phone. It was dark. This setup just was not good, but I had over a couple of days, I had made so many videos. I just didn't want to scrap them. So I decided to go ahead and just edit them and post them up here anyway. And but the next one, when I make pens, I'm going to do another pen one just because, just to redeem myself from this one. It's going to be much better than this one. Much more light, much more close-ups and everything. And if I didn't tell you, this is the spinner I got from Amazon. Um, that pink thing, I believe, is from a tumbler spinner. I just stuck it up there with a rubber band, and now it's a pen spinner. So anyway, I applied that, and then this is going to dry again for 4 hours, spinning 1 hour. So now we have a total of 6 coats on our pens. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and do some cleanup. I normally clean up between 6 and 7 coats. I stop here because I don't know if the person that wants this pen wants it to be personalized or not. And I don't want it really, really bulky. So if I have to add a name to the back, I'll either use water slide or I'll put more vinyl there, but it will definitely need a few more coats. I like my pen smooth. I don't want to feel the vinyl underneath, but I also don't want it bulky. So yeah. So we're going to go ahead and clean it off. We use an X-Acto knife here to clean up the top. It's just that this X-Acto knife I'm using is really, really dull. I need to buy some more blades for it. But we go ahead and clean up the top, and then we turn it over and we clean up the bottom. Not a whole lot of cleanup because we made a lot of earlier provisions to eliminate these extensive cleanups. So we just, I just can't see right now. I don't have my glasses on. I'm trying to stay in front of the camera, which I didn't do well. And I just can't see it that well. Next time I'll have my glasses on. I'll have better lighting. I'm going to do better. I don't know how much better, but I'm going to do a little better. I'm still filling out this YouTube thing here. But yeah, we go ahead and clean that off. And then we look at the bottom, clean it off a bit, and then we go ahead and assemble our pen. And by the way, keep all your inners for your pen put together because you will definitely lose them and then that pen will be no good. So it's real simple to put together like it was. It's simple to put apart and you just screw it right on. If you feel any resistance, which I will, you'll see here, then you probably got a little bright tone or glue inside your barrel. And that's where your X-Acto knife comes in. You got to go in there and clean that out. So I'm going to take this back off, put my X-Acto knife in the end of that barrel, and watch what I take out here. I'm scraping. Here it comes. See all that they got in there? Now imagine if I didn't have the pencil in there, it would be so much more. When I first started this, it took me an hour to clean up a pen. I had to devise a easier way to clean these up. But anyway, this pen is done. And I know it's dark, you can't see it, but I'm going to put another picture up, maybe a different angle, you can see it. It even looks blue on here, and we know that's green. Or maybe it's my phone. But anyway, I'm going to show you a final picture in a minute. Here's our final picture. These came out beautifully. I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, like, and follow my page. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers and maybe we can go to live. God bless.